The Wild Wild West is a really great Rugrats episode and very well balanced too, as this one largely focuses on imaginative play. And as I mentioned before, I don't love the episodes where we mostly see the baby's imaginative world, but in this one, I actually feel like they had a really nice balance between the imaginative world and the real park where they were actually playing. This is the first segment of the 9th episode of the 5th season of the Rugrats, and it starts off with Grandpa as a cactus, which looked pretty great, I have to say. And he's telling the babies about the Wild West and famous people in the Wild West, including one of my personal favourites, Calamity Jane. Calamity Jane, the film, was my introduction to Doris Day, which was an absolute delight. So that made me really happy. And Angelica is trying to find something to cut with her new Cynthia safety scissors. And this person is giving out coupons for free ice cream. And initially, Angelica is excited at the prospect of cutting up a coupon until she realizes it's for free ice cream and takes a whole bundle of them. And the babies, Tommy and Chuckie, but also Susie's there as well, which I loved, are not happy with this theft. And they decide to take on the personas of these figures of the Wild West to teach Angelica a lesson. And it's delightful. And as I said, I think it's got a really great balance between the imaginary Wild West that they're envisioning in their imaginative play, and it looks great. It's very orange. It's got a very kind of orange wash to all of those scenes, which works very well. You know, it's hot, sandy environments. It makes sense. But we also get to see a lot of them just holding sticks that they're using as their hobby horses, which I thought was brilliant. There was one moment that I thought was going to be awkward where it wasn't, because I believe it was Tommy who said we should go and find the, as they call them, naked Americans. And I thought, is this going to be awkward? But actually, when Chuckie said they sounded scary, Tommy quickly said, no, they're our friends, they're friendly. Which I thought was a nice way of saying, we're not trying to be offensive in this cartoon, we are acknowledging that Native Americans are, potentially friendly people that we can get on with rather than fighting against. And those naked Americans are Phil and Lil, which I thought was a fun way of bringing the characters into this. It does beg the question, why weren't Phil and Lil playing with Tommy, Chuckie, and Susie to begin with? But I'm going to overlook that one because it's always great to have them in this. And I thought it was a pretty fun narrative. It developed really well. The pacing was great. Everything looked really good. And yeah, I thought it was very effective. And I love that it cut back and forth between the park and the Wild West at a really steady pace. And having Susie in there was great. And the costumes the characters wore in their imagination looked awesome as well. Definitely a fun episode. Obviously a lesson in there as well about not taking things that don't belong to you, because you shouldn't do that. And great cast of characters. Really thoroughly enjoyed it, not just because Calamity Jane was mentioned. It's actually a really good episode and one I'd be happy to watch again. Not usually the case with the imaginative play ones. So to me, that's a sign that this is a really good episode.